Welcome to today's teaching on financial concepts. Of course, our goal is to teach children about money, and I'm Trevor Stack. Today we're talking about 3 secrets for parents to teach kids for successful saving skills. So the 3 secrets that we've mentioned before in previous posts, and we'll mention again now before we delve into them. The first secret is always use the right piggy bank. We'll talk more about that in a minute. The second secret, in order to plan savings, kids must also plan spending. I think, often overlook that, and we'll talk more about that in some detail in a moment. And the third secret, kids need to earn some of their own money. We'll teach these 3 things in order to give kids the basic building blocks. We'll start early, and we'll continue providing more and more lessons and experiences for our children. Let's delve into the first one. Always using the right piggy bank. Now, piggy banks are very important. We typically think of the pink piggy bank, but in reality, we use piggy banks our whole lives. Now, it's important not to only start using one early, but also to change it whenever it is needed, whenever it becomes the wrong piggy bank, or a new one would be better, a different one. So let's back up to the very beginning. When a baby comes home from the hospital, home for the first time, and gifts begin pouring in, visitors show up and we start to see this new cute kid, and we start to see random money showing up. Of course, we don't have a bank account for this little one, so we begin with a big fat pink piggy bank, or maybe a cuter version of it. Now, this may be great for a little while. However, over time, quarters and loonies become $5 bills and $10 bills. Money begins to pile up. This also is great, but this isn't the money your child is going to be using. And you eventually may put all the money into a college fund or something like that. But then it's time for another piggy bank. This time for your child's use. Once the child is old enough to stop putting pennies into their mouth, they can begin to start using their own piggy bank. Of course, if we're going to look at an allowance, there's a chance that you can get your child to begin saving, but often that allowance won't likely begin until the child is 10 or 12 years of age. You will have passed up on 6 to 8 years of training that your child could have learned to use their piggy bank. Now, piggy banks need to change as the needs of the child changes. Without going into detail here, we'll delve into that in some more advanced training, or some additional training as we move along in other courses. But without going into detail, recognize that as you plan spending, and we'll discuss plan spending in a few moments, it is helpful at some point to have multiple piggy banks for savings. Also, as a child grows older, the types of piggy banks will change. You may have 1 or 2 different types even. You will use a piggy bank for the rest of your life, and in fact, many different ones. So making sure that you have the child utilize the right piggy bank for the right time of their financial training is important. If a child is being helped to find new ways to earn some money and provided the opportunity to learn about piggy banks, they will gain tremendous benefits. Aside from the process of using the piggy bank and learning about new piggy banks, they'll also learn about saving, about planning, about setting goals, and many other lessons that build on that. Let's look at number 2. The second secret. In order to plan savings, kids must also plan spending. Saving is the real goal. However, if you try to just get your children to save and they have no plans to spend, there will be potential for your child to give up on saving and just to spend. Of course, this may be a child's natural default anyways, but not allowing them to create their own savings goals is likely to speed up the process. At the earliest convenient moment, we want to see our children find their purpose for their own money. We'll talk about their own money in a moment, but of course, saving for an investment or a house as a long-term event will mean nothing to your child, and the event itself of saving for that is just an exercise in long-term habits. And of course, that's important, and so we do it. However, once we begin creating this habit, we then need to create the habit of saving. Saving with a plan, a purpose. The purpose of saving is to spend. And so we will, of course, encourage a child early on to save for short, achievable goals. We want them to find something that will take a little bit of time to save for and to have them achieve success. Now, the time frame doesn't matter. It can be a week, it can be a month, 2 or 3 months. However, the more frequently they put money away to save from their own earned money, the quicker they can achieve the savings goal. As they put money away for investments, and then they also put money away for their own goal, a short-term goal. So let's look at if they pull weeds once a week in the neighborhood, at home, wherever. They get paid for this. Then find something that they could save for in, say, 2 or 3 weeks. In fact, if the very first time the child puts money away for long-term saving, there is something that they would like to buy the same day with the rest of the money they've earned on their first earning opportunity, the first time they've gone out and had a chance to make some of their own money, then let them spend it. The next time, though, encourage them to save twice as long before spending. Maybe perhaps a bigger savings goal and maybe 3 or 4 savings opportunities. See, at this point, you begin to find short-term and medium-term savings challenges. A child that can create a habit of putting long-term money away for investing, as well as some money for an ice cream on the weekend, and also for a toy that will take 3 or 4 weeks to save, has now creating the cognitive ability that will be needed for a lifetime of planned spending. From there, we just now create more experiences. We create more learning opportunities, more planning, and more saving. With these building blocks in place, we can begin adding more and more complex lessons and financial theories about financial management. So let's move on to the next part of this. The third secret. Kids need to earn some of their own money. Whether they receive an allowance or not, they need to earn some of their own money. It's very different spending your own money than it is to spending someone else's money. A child is likely just to spend their allowance and not worry about getting more next week or next month. It just happens. Now that you understand the value of a child's piggy bank, and in helping a child create a purpose for their own money, as well as creating the goals to save for those specific purposes, which ideally will help put off instant gratification and creating debt in the future, we deal with earning. So spending allowance will create a habit of spending, not saving. We receive our money, we spend our money. There's typically no expectation of saving or planning for a specific purpose. When allowances fail, it's Dad, can I borrow $20? Dad, can I get $20? I'm going out, Dad, needing $20. And that's just money we expect to get. The kids expect to get an allowance, and they expect to get that money. Creating an earning opportunity changes things. When a child begins to earn money and has the opportunity to not only save for long-term investing, but also plan to spend, so they plan by saving for an opportunity to spend on their choices, the money they make, it begins to change their lives. These savings opportunities will have the child looking for more earning opportunities and more saving opportunities. This is when the building blocks begin to come together. Using tools to save and plan will create more and more opportunities to create more in-depth financial learning opportunities. The beginning is for you to look for those earning opportunities for your child. Then allow them to plan spending and use their piggy banks. The earlier the better. The best chance to create these building blocks is to start now. The opportunity to prepare your child for long-term financial security is to begin now with creating habits with money, habits with their own money, saving, planning for spending rather than poor spending habits, saving to invest, and planning to avoid debt. Thanks for spending your time with us today. We will come to you with another set of lessons. Look for them on our site. Thank you.